Okay, Fujifilm just announced a bunch of stuff. They didn't announce this thing. This they didn't announce. But I figured we'd use this video to, as a reaction video. Use the comments below to let me know what you thought of what was released today on September 2nd, 2021. Just know I haven't been sent any of these cameras or lenses or haven't tried anything. This is more just discussion. Again, let me know your comments below and so we could discuss. Now, I'm not going to do these in any particular order, except the ones I'm most excited about. So the one I was most excited about were the lenses that were released, the 33mm 1.4 and the 23mm 1.4. Now the key thing with these lenses, also with the 18mm that was already released, the 1.4, is they're weather resistant and they seem to be very silent for video, which is key. So they have a higher resolution, these lenses, which makes you think that perhaps cameras in the future maybe have more megapixels or have a little bit, or you be able to resolve a little bit more resolution from the older cameras. They have better minimum focus distance, and that's one of my favorite ways to shoot. I love getting close up to subjects and shooting wide open. It just gives you like a very cool perspective. So these lenses are better performers close up. Faster and silent autofocus. I can't wait to test and see what that looks like. The autofocus is pretty much quick already. The gold standard is what Sony is doing, and I think all camera companies are trying to reach that quick, super fast autofocus. So hopefully these lenses with future bodies can really give us that super fast autofocus. But the real discussion with the 33mm 1.4 is that the older version, the 35mm 1.4, that lens has a lot of fans. I don't think that lens is going to go away. If anything, people might scramble to pick one up. The 33mm 1.4 will be on paper better and probably be a better performer, but I think people like the charm of the 35mm 1.4. The other one that I'm super excited about is the brand new version of the 23mm 1.4, because of its increased minimum focus distance, or is it decreased minimum focus distance? Now the old one had a minimum focus distance of 28 centimeters, 11 inches, and the new one is 19 centimeters, 7.4 inches away. That's really close. And this is reminiscent of the 16mm 1.4, that's one of the best features of it, is shooting that lens close up. Just gives such a beautiful look. So I'm excited to try that. Now that does open up the question, if someone has a 23mm 1.4, the old version has a clutch, manual focus system, which the 16mm has as well. You see it has a little clutch focus. Let me show you that. You can lock it. Now it's in autofocus, and then it has a clutch. Tell me in the comments if you actually like the clutch, because that has been removed from these newer versions. Now, personally, I enjoy the smaller size lenses. I love that Fujifilm released a 27mm, a new version of this pancake lens, the 27mm. And these smaller lenses, the 23mm f2, the 35, I love those lenses. So personally for me, I don't love the hunkin' big lenses. I like to keep my Fujifilm kit small. Okay, the GFX50S2. Very exciting for people that want to get into this whole larger format, skipping full frame, just jumping from APS-C to larger format. I use the Fujifilm GFX100S, and that camera was great to hold. It took incredible photographs, just beautiful quality, beautiful colors. Of course, the resolution was just ridiculous, but that, again, is part of the conversation. You need larger hard drives. You need more card space. It slows your computer down. But if you're a landscape photographer and you want to do large format portraits, which are beautiful, now the price is coming down to around $4,000 for the body. Well, just imagine a year or two from now, this is just becoming more obtainable, this larger format system. Again, for Fujifilm, I prefer all the tiny stuff, which I'll get to in a second. But for those of you interested in the GFX system, this is great. This is the GFX 100S with half the resolution, which is easier on your hard drives. And I'm sure has the same great colors, the same beautiful image quality and contrast that I was getting from the 100S. So that's super exciting. The only thing that's strange, it shoots only 3 frames a second. And I think for portraits, personally, I think 5 frames per second is the minimum that I like to shoot. 3 frames a second is a little bit of a cripple. You know, I think they're crippling the camera just a little bit. And the other strange thing is the camera doesn't shoot 4K video, which was, I think, a conscious decision, again, to not cannibalize sales from the 100S, which does shoot 4K. I just find that a little strange to release a 1080p camera. It's just, don't even put video in it. You know, it's like 1080p. I don't know, personally, I like to have 4K video, 4K 30. I just love seeing the high resolution when you're shooting nature and flowers and bugs. So it's a little strange that it's full HD. Now, it could be amazing full HD, but I don't know. All right, so that's a GFX. Anyone out there picking one up? I know I'm into the smaller cameras, which brings us to the next thing. Fujifilm has released a XT35. That's what they should have called it. The XT30 Mark II. I'm starting to hate the whole Mark thing. Mark 1, Mark 2. It reminds me of Iron Man. But the XT30 Mark II could be a little controversial with the Fujifilm system. It's an updated XT30, which won't be a controversy if XT30 users, old XT30 users, get a firmware update with everything that this camera has, like the new film simulations. It has new, a little bit better performance. And so is this the future of Fujifilm? No firmware updates, just updated firmware cameras, which is a little sad. So for anyone that has the older XT30, you know, if someone is an XT30 owner, I don't think you need to upgrade to an XT30 Mark II. But a new user into the Fujifilm system, you know, if they're going to pick up a small camera, which I love these cameras, the smaller ones, then the new XT30 has better performance and has new film simulations. So that's great that they updated the camera. It's nice that the XT30 is coming out, but my real question is, bring back the D-pad already. The cameras that are being released now, the GFX that just was released, this XT30, they lack the, I'll hold up this XE2 here. They all lack buttons and dials. Bring the D-pad back. No charger in the box. That's going to be something that happens. Phone companies now are not putting chargers in the box. Fujifilm has announced that some of these cameras, like the XT3 worldwide, now there's just one more thing. By the way, remember when product announcements were exciting and there were like, it was a surprise and the end was, there's just one more thing? I just love that. Now everything is released on rumor sites. You just find everything out beforehand. So it's a little anticlimactic. So I wanted to end this video with a little conversation. In the comments, let me know what you would love to see in the future from Fujifilm. And I've got a couple of thoughts here. Omar's thoughts on what I would love to see from Fujifilm. Yes, we're being spoiled brats. Okay, the first thing I would love to see is a revamp of this camera. I wish that Fujifilm would release another tiny pocketable X-Trans sensor, you know, X70 camera with buttons and dials, and this camera is just so fun. Now, it would be great if it also had some sort of stabilization and the flip up screen that it has so that you can just film a little bit of movie. You could film yourself like this and then go and shoot pictures, and all in one camera in your pocket. And I would love to see this camera updated by Fujifilm. That's my #1 wish. I would love to see IBIS in some of the smaller cameras. I wish this XT30 would have come out with IBIS. I would have picked it up because I would love to shoot a little bit of video with something that is retro and has a flip up or flip side screen. So the XS10 to me right now is the only kind of one. The XE4 came out with the flip up screen, but it doesn't have IBIS. I don't want to use the stabilized lenses. I want to use the 16mm 1.4, the old one on there. So that would be my wish, is universal IBIS. By the way, Hurricane Ida is going by New Jersey right now. Oh my God, I'm just getting a warning in my phone. Flash flood warning. Do you hear this? Okay, third, I wish Fujifilm would update their app. I've been using Nikon's SnapBridge app, and I walk around and photograph with the Nikon, and in my pocket, the images are being uploaded, beautiful, easy, connection is easy. Fujifilm needs to update their app and just bring it to, modern standards. All right, I'll see you guys next time.